I've been paying close attention to my life, to choices I've made and those to come. I want to remember, to live every day as if it was my last. One day it will be. Mary Oliver's lines speak to me. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? And when it's over, I don't want to end up simply having visited the world. In September 2007, my wife Kathy and I were going to see my brother Mike and his wife Shar in The Hague, the Netherlands, for an early celebration of my birthday. Mike's treat on frequent flyer miles, my 60th, a big round number, gave me pause. On the last day before my trip, John Harry caught me. He said he was calling it quits on Friday, his last day working part-time as a retiree. John said, I've got something for you, your 10-year UC service pin. We both laughed, as I'd been working at the lab over 27 years at that point. John, was there something that prompted you to quit? John took a tape measure out of the desk drawer and hooked it in the whiteboard tray on the far wall. He pulled the tape across the room to where we stood and pointed to the 80-inch mark. I might live to be this old. He pointed at the 69-inch mark on the tape. I'm 69 now. John looked at the tape and then at me. It just seems like it's time. I looked too. I was nearly 60, far enough along the tape that John's point resonated with me. Our age on the tape was a graphic, physical representation of how much of our life we'd lived. The distance to any reasonable estimate of how long we'd lived was much shorter. I told John of Thomas McGuane's line. As they say in South America, everyone knows they're going to die, yet nobody believes it. Human lapses of this kind enable us to fish, fornicate, overeat, and bet on the horses. I said goodbye to Kathy and finished up the afternoon at work, to John and finished up the afternoon at work. Kathy and I headed for the Netherlands. I'd been meditating in the mornings for over a decade, and when we were in Holland a few days, when I'd settled in to meditate for 20 minutes, to pay attention to breath and the fullness of being in the body and know what arises, thoughts of work issues, daily projects and concerns bubbled up and faded away. Then I thought, what if I wasn't going back to work? What do I really want to do? I let the question just be there, watching what came. 2 weeks off with Kathy offered a preview of the road ahead. Barbara Shear's Live the Life You Love offers the exercise of remembering what we've enjoyed doing, what we've ever loved, and imagining if we took those to the limit and turned them into a fantasy career profession. Where would we wind up? What would our life be like? I explored what I'd enjoyed doing and how it might inform what I wanted to do after my career at the lab. I was so busy I had very little time for anything but work. However, I'd identified a handful of things I wanted to do that I slipped into my life like slivers, long, thin, white wedges. With the limited time I had, I could still do them a little bit. I look forward to sliding up the wedges and spending more time on these activities as I transition to retirement. Since I've retired, I've continued to make choices about where to put my time and energy. I give blood as often as I can. I love to do it. It makes me feel connected to the community of life we all share. I'm interested in sustainable development. I've increased my volunteering with Engineers Without Borders. I'm continuing to work on Belize Open Source Sustainable Development, a nonprofit land-based learning center and working farm on 40 acres in Belize. I'm an organizer with Public Lab, doing aerial photo mapping with kites and balloons, working with their other citizen science tools, and sharing the results in research notes. I write memoir and travel pieces, a true novel and longer memoir in progress. I'm learning to sketch and draw. I continue to study Spanish. I'm grateful for all those who have helped me. I'm grateful for the totality of experience that has brought me to the present moment. I practice mindfulness. I joke that I'm doomed or blessed with no alternative but to practice. Meditation teacher Sylvia Borstein reminds us, I start over. That's the practice for you as well. Plan to be starting over all the time. Strive on with diligence. Move with sureness into the future. The Tuesday after we came back from the Netherlands, after Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Observance Day, when I opened my daily planner at work, the quote was, find out what you love. Do it because you love it. Stick with it. Start now. Barbara Shear. Synchronicity, serendipity, or just coincidence, I don't know, but it got my attention. The line from Green Day's song ran through my mind. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.